A lot of people wonder if ChatGPT is going to take your job or my job as an instructional designer. Well, let's figure it out.
Core praxis.
I'm going to do 2 videos this week. In this one, we're going to use the free version of ChatGPT, which is the 3.5. And we're going to try to trick it in different ways. I'm going to act as a beginner, and then I'm going to apply more of an advanced prompt base on it and see what kind of results we get. So let's get to it. All right, folks, here we are, ChatGPT 3.5. This is, again, free version. Don't know if you can get it today. I think you can get it today if you sign up, but otherwise you'll have to pay for ChatGPT 4. So the way this works is you have a prompt down here. You can ask any questions, just like if you were talking to someone. And that's the main thing you want to be focused on when you do this prompt engineering stuff. Now, there are some advanced things you can do, like customizations in terms of turning the chatbot into an expert, but you can do that through the chat as well. So, like I said before, we're going to act as a beginner, and I'm going to give it a prompt so it assumes a posture of being an expert in instructional design. So here we go. All right, so here we are. You're an expert instructional designer, and we need to develop a course for new forklift operators with a list of learning objectives and 20 question tests. We need to meet OSHA regulations as well. I threw that in there to see what kind of thing this do. So let's see what happens. Alrighty. So let's see what we got. I mean, this took 7 seconds or 8 seconds to develop. And so here is the guidance. We have learning objectives, right? So we're going to evaluate. If you are not familiar with good learning objectives, go ahead and check out the video that I put out here. Over there. I always get confused with the orientation. But check out the video. It breaks down how to write good learning objectives. I already see a problem here, but we'll see what's going on. So first of all, safety procedures is the first topic, right? So, okay, identify regulations related to forklift operations. Okay, cool. Demonstrate knowledge of proper safety procedures. They said, all right, great. So the interesting thing here is that it's just throwing the objectives, and this seems to be enabling objectives. So it's not giving us a terminal objective, or it's not giving us a global educational objective, right? So explain the importance of conducting pre-operation inspections. All right, okay. So in the safety procedures, cool, you get familiar with OSHA requirements, safety procedures, and whatnot. Great. Notice that in the prompt, we're saying new forklift operators with a list, learning objectives, and this and that. So I'm not telling them, I'm not saying the actual purpose of the course, which is a good thing. So we'll see where it takes it. So in forklift operation, actually goes to operations as the second theme. We start with understand the basic components and functions of a forklift. So that's like, we fell on that one because understand is a very vague term. So understand basic components. Well, what are the basic components? How many? And the functions of a forklift. So understand, no good. Identify the components, great. Critical components, maybe. Essential components, okay. So demonstrate proficiency in start, stopping, maneuvering. Okay, cool. So there's a demonstration objective. That means that we have an observational aspect to this. Explain the principles of low stability and safe low handling. Great. All right. So that comes into play there. Then hazard recognition. Okay, emergency procedures, again, understand proper procedures, so that's bad, not good. Procedures to follow in case of forklift. So this one is not too bad. It's got the procedures to follow in case of, and the specific elements in there. So that, okay, but again, you have to explain all that, so that's where it's a little inefficient. All right. And so we have the organization sets, the questions. Let's see, organization, security regulation, for the operation in the United States. Well, that's a dumb question. Who cares? Like, it's OSHA, big deal. It's a recall that it's not relevant. And the question is like, you're identifying and understand. Oh, I missed this understand here too. Wow, that's bad. Identify and understand OSHA regulations, right? So why are you asking me which one is the organization if you're already explaining in the course where do they come from? All right. So steps pre-operation. Okay, so it will explain the first steps in pre-operation. This is great. So far we got objectives and we have questions. And the questions seem to be pretty good. They don't have, in terms of questions, how to write questions, good parallel form in many cases. They have, let's see. Oh, and the way they run this, it's interesting because usually I did this before in another case and it gave me the actual right questions, the right answers. I don't seem to see those here. So let me see what happens in terms of the conversation. So a couple of things I want to pick up from here. One is I want to reformat. I'm going to give it advanced directives to reformat the objectives. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's the test, the advanced test. Please rewrite the objectives using Robert Mager's approach and write out the content for each objective. Write out content for each objective. Provide links from relevant sources. Also, mark correct answers of the quiz with an asterisk. See what happens.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Wow. Okay. That was impressive. Okay. So check this out. This is kind of cool. All right. So safety procedures, performance. Given a forklift in a workplace environment, the learner will correctly identify and implement OSHA regulations regarding forklift operation safety. That is a terminal objective, well crafted. Wow. With the condition of during pre-operation, operation, and post-operation phases of forklift uses, the criteria is 90% of OSHA regulations related to, okay, and the content. And we got links for each of the things. Forklift operations are broken down. The second section. When presented with a forklift, the learner will demonstrate a proficient operation, including starting, stopping, the condition across different workplace scenarios, and criterion: successfully perform key operations without errors. Whoa. Okay. Not bad. Content understanding. Okay. Yeah, because it's not giving me that, but it's providing all those conditions. And then it did mark the correct answers in the test. What was interesting, though, is that it, instead of doing 20, it went to 10 questions. So it dropped half of the questions. Well, there it is. So that's an interesting little approach. So what is the moral of the story here? The moral of the story is that if you are experienced in instructional design, you're definitely going to need to play with ChatGPT and experiment this way. Because if you notice here, if you already have information from the SMEs or if you have some relevance to the course, you can already start with a quick, workup by the bot, and it saves so much time, especially with the test writing multiple choice questions. There are good multiple choice questions that are not trivia based. That takes a bit of time. So this is this is powerful. And so it poses some challenges in instructional design. So what do you think? What are some of the things that what else do you want me to talk about and check out here in the channel? Make sure you check out this video. Probably the algorithm thinks it's the best video you can watch, and subscribe. But besides that, drop in the comments if there are any other topics regarding to anything that you would like to have covered in the channel in terms of instructional design, in terms of learning and development or training. This is very interesting. The next video that I'll do based on ChatGPT will be with the paid subscription on that, and we'll see. It's supposed to be more powerful.
Core praxis.